This is Maggie's Centre in Leeds, England. It's a place where cancer patients or their relatives can receive practical or emotional support during treatment. It was built on a hospital campus, but stands out in stark contrast to the other buildings around it. The architecture and interior design, with its soft curves, are meant to be inviting to both patients and other visitors.
When people come here into this big, beautiful space, they feel really safe and calm away from the clinical area over at the hospital. In fact, one lady talked to us how it feels like a warm, fluffy blanket keeping you safe.
The interior of the centre contains natural materials, soft lighting, and numerous spaces designed to encourage social interaction. The wood used is sustainably forested spruce. The walls are made out of porous materials such as limestone, which help ventilate the building naturally.
As you come into the centre, obviously it's this big open space, and we know that cancer has been shrouded in secrecy, but this gives the impression that we can be open about that now, and we can talk about cancer, and we can talk about that as a thing that's happening to people as they come into the centre. But then we have much smaller spaces that have no corners, so they envelop you as you go into them. So we've got rooms that almost give you a hug as you go into them.
Celia Knight's husband was recently diagnosed with leukemia. Maggie's centre has helped her cope during his treatment.
I have to bring my husband to the hospital. He doesn't drive, so the centre has been incredibly helpful to me as a comfortable place to wait while he's having his treatment.
Maggie's Centre in Leeds was completed in 2020 by British architect Thomas Heatherwick. He based the design on oversized garden planters with the goal of enhancing the greenery around the building. He says architecture plays an important role in our well-being.
This was really interesting for us because I think an issue of our time is how buildings affect us emotionally. And many buildings have failed us in the last century or so emotionally. They've made bad places, and you couldn't get a more extreme need for something that connects with people's emotions and feelings than a cancer care centre.
Famous architects have taken part in designing the centre, such as Zaha Hadid, Frank Gehry with his centre in Dundee, Scotland, Norman Foster, and Rem Koolhaas with this centre in Glasgow, Scotland. Executive Director Dame Laura Lee has been a part of the centre since the very beginning 25 years ago.
So the first Maggie Centre came about through a woman called Maggie Keswick-Jenks. Maggie herself had a diagnosis of breast cancer, and she identified aspects of care that weren't being provided within our NHS system here in the UK. The first centre opened after Maggie had died, and when we were asked to work on other centres at other hospital grounds, her friends, who happened to be Frank Gehry, Richard Rogers, Norman Foster, then offered to help, and who wanted to take part in providing a Maggie Centre in different hospital grounds.
American architect Daniel Liebeskind is working on the next Maggie Centre in London, making it the 25th in the UK.
It's been a really helpful place for me to come, and I've found that it's been more helpful to get support here than from my friends and family, because I can't see them as I would like to in COVID times. So this has been a really wonderful, neutral space and very supportive for me.
Maggie's Centre in Leeds is just one example of how architecture can help in the healing process.